Hey, what's up, Unbroken Tribe? Listen, I am checking out this article that was posted, looks like 4 hours ago by Katie Brockman. Came out of Motley Fool. This is the average 401k balance for retirees age 65 and older. While everyone's retirement needs will differ, it's not uncommon for older adults to need well over $1 million to retire comfortably. In fact, the average worker expects to need around $1.8 million to retire comfortably, according to a 2024 survey from Charles Schwab. Sometimes it can be helpful to see how your savings compare to others your age. Here's what the average 401k balance looks like for Americans age 65 and older, plus the simplest way to determine your own savings goals. Savings. We talk about this all the time. All right. The average account balance among older adults. In 2024 report, Vanguard published details on the average savings among Vanguard 401k participants. Among those aged 65 and older, the average 401k balance is $272,588. However, the median may offer a more realistic look at the typical savings, as the average is often skewed by extremely high earners. The median 401k balance among those aged 65 and older is just $88,488. Now, there's a good chance that these numbers are relatively low because some study participants may be well into retirement age and have spent much of their savings already. That said, adults aged 55 to 64 have an average and median balance of $244,750 and $87,871 respectively, meaning most Americans are nowhere near $1.8 million average goal. How much should you save? And the article goes on to talk about this retirement calculator and whatnot. But here's the point. Guys, I'm on this drum. I've been beating this drum for quite some time about understanding the difference between assets, liabilities, income, and expenses. And these types of articles come out every single day in America talking about we need $1.8 million, according to this article, that is what we need to live on in retirement. Well, guys, here's the reality. If you're accustomed to living on, $6,000 a month income coming into your house, it doesn't matter how much you have in your savings account. What matters is, can you continue to live on $6,000 per month? There's going to be things that you need to do to work on your expenses that are taking money out of your income. There are things you can do that you can create additional income streams versus actually needing to save $1.8 million. If you're 55 to 64 years old and you've only got $200,000 saved, shoring up $1.6 million over the next 10 years or 5 years or whatever is going to be a very difficult task to have in front of you. So, guys, here's the reality. You don't need $1 million to live on. You need a few $1,000s a month of income. So let me explain this. The stock market likes to use this rule called the 4% rule. And investors like to get you to save more money and tell you that you have to have $1.8 million in savings to be able to live according to this 4% rule. Well, 4% of $1.8 million is $72,000 divided by 12 months is $6,000 a month. All right, $6,000 a month. How much are you planning on, or are you expecting from your Social Security income? Are you expecting, the average right now is somewhere around $2,200 a month. So let's use $2,200. So $6,000 minus $2,200 is $3,800 a month of income that you need to replace. Okay, it's good to have savings. I'm all for saving money and having emergency funds and having money in the bank and invested and whatnot. But guys, here's what the reality is. You need income. You need to figure out how to shore up $3,800 a month of income, $3,500, whatever it is. Figure out what your income sources are and replace your income, and stop focusing so heavily on this savings number that is unrealistic. Definitely continue to save, continue to put money in your accounts. I'm all for that. It's very, very important to have liquid cash available when you need it. It's really important to replace income with income. All right, guys? So that's your Truth About a Lie moment today. Hope this has been helpful. And, make sure that you make some comments, like what we've got to say, share it with your friends, follow us on social media. There's links in the description. So, all right, guys, we'll talk to you next time. Thanks.